What have been the most important developments in the context of Western Azerbaijan Community?
8 documents of Western Azerbaijan Community were circulated in the United Nations.
They perceive your argument, your cause, as being perfectly legitimate. How much have you achieved in terms of advancing your legal argument?
Our right to return is confirmed by international law.
The community you represent does not endorse any form of territorial claim against modern-day Armenia. Western Azerbaijan is perceived to be deeply irredentist.
Where can they find this word? Like, we want to invade your country. We don't have separatist intentions. It doesn't change the reality that we have right to return. Whatever they say, it's their opinion. We don't take part in official procedures like peace talks or others.
I would say you are both proactive and reactive.
We react when it somehow has some connections with Western Azerbaijanis or our right to return. There are many human stories, very painful human stories.
Hello everybody. When 5 months ago I spoke to Ulviyya Zulfikar, spokesperson for the Western Azerbaijani community, she, with a great deal of enthusiasm, determination and greed, presented the case for the voluntary and dignified return of those Azerbaijanis expelled from modern-day Armenia back to their ancestral homeland. And today I will converse with her again in order to be able to understand what the community she represents has achieved to date, in particular over the past 5 months, and what they're planning to do to advance their cause in the foreseeable future. Ulviyya Zulfikar, welcome to Caliber.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for allocating time to speak to us. If you remember, our last conversation was in May, I believe it was in May. And so what have been the most important developments in the context of Western Azerbaijan community over the past 5 months?
Thank you, Mr. Amashov. Thank you for inviting me again. I'm very glad to have an interview with you. So, regarding to achievements, I can divide it into 2 parts, like internal achievements and achievements on international level. For example, internal achievements. We are regularly meeting with the community members. They are rearranging themselves. They are gathering around our community, like village by village, region by region. Lately, there was the community, city community of Yerevan. They met with us. So we are arranging exhibitions like cultural events, and they are really very interesting because part of Western Azerbaijani culture are highlighted there as like cuisine, dresses from Western Azerbaijanis. And we are opening also our branch, like in the regions of Azerbaijan, Sumgayit, Naftalan, they were the branches of Western Azerbaijan
That's
community.
the place where Western Azerbaijanis live now.
Yes, yes,
right.
yes. And abroad also, we had a meeting in Berlin. We met with Western Azerbaijanis in Berlin. It was in May also. It's like they are also gathering together. Soon they will be the branch of Western Azerbaijan community abroad also.
I believe there was an event in Madrid very recently, am I right?
Yes, yes, yes. So they are the first steps, like gathering the branch of Western Azerbaijanis. So on international level, of course. This part is very important because in order to be heard, and in order to return to our homeland, we should be very active on international level. I could say that close to 8 documents of Western Azerbaijan Community were circulated in the United Nations. This is a great achievement because not every NGO's 8 document circulated in this high-level organization. This once more confirms that the right of return of Western Azerbaijanis are fundamental basic principles issue of human rights. So if there was something, if there was some problem, this organization would never circulate these documents as its official ones.
So they perceive your argument, your cause, as being perfectly legitimate.
Yes, yes, exactly. So since May, we met with the members of international organizations like UNHCR. They came to our community. We had some fruitful meetings. They came to on the 20th of June, World Refugee Day, to our community building also. They took part in our conferences. Then we wrote some letters to international organizations, international bodies like Pope Francis, European Union, European organizations, and we have answers from them. No, that one more confirms that we are a legal body. We are accepted in the world as a legal body of Western Azerbaijanis. For example, we have official letter, answer letter from UNESCO. Like we appealed to UNESCO to send a fact-finding mission to Armenia in order to check the condition of Western Azerbaijani culture. You know, most of them are destroyed. Which one is alive, they are presented as cultural heritage of other countries. For
Probably
example,
Persian or something like that.
Yes, Blue Mosque, for example.
Blue Mosque, good example.
Yes, more than 300 mosques were in Armenia belonging to Azerbaijanis, but most of them are destroyed. As you say, only one is alive. This Blue Mosque presented as Persian. More than 500 graveyards in Armenia, and most of them are destroyed. We have Western Azerbaijanis who only know the coordinates of the graves of their relatives. You know, destroyed. Graves are just destroyed, and these people now only coordinate. This is very painful. They don't know if this grave is still standing there or not, but just...
And what was the reaction from UNESCO?
Yes, they answered that the issue you have raised in our mandate. Okay. You are right. This is in our mandate. We will keep this issue in our attention because really we wrote to them that we are in this opinion that destroying one part of heritage is just destroying one page of the history. That's why it is in their mandate, and they should react, and they reacted also.
Or they should send fact-finding mission. That's what you asked them to do, but we'll see.
I hope there will be a fact-finding mission also. Yeah. We regularly keep contact with international bodies, international organizations, but we still don't have an answer to our letter regarding to the dialogue from Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan. We still don't have an answer to this.
So the right to return in line with Article 13 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and many other sources of international law is a fundamental premise of your goals, of your objectives. It's a legal argument, of course. Right of return is a legal concept, and there's a question whether that right applies to those Azerbaijanis who were expelled from modern-day Armenia in the late 1980s. How much have you achieved in terms of advancing your legal argument?
As I answered Mr. Amashov, taking part at meetings of international organizations like in OSCE, we had side events there. Our members took part in the OSCE meetings also, and getting answers from international bodies. They are already having guests in our community buildings. I forgot to say that we have Council of Europe Commissioner for Human Rights, Dunya Mijatovic also. She was in our community building. She met with more than 100 Western Azerbaijanis. I remember she said that I also was a refugee and I understand your pain. This is a very painful issue. She listened to us. So these are already a sign of, these legal arguments. If there was nothing about our human rights, this legal international organization would never answer us, would never come to visit us. Our right to return is confirmed by international law. You know it better than me because you're a lawyer. By international law, it is confirmed. So they say we are refugees because why? We left our own country. Yeah. Armenia was our country. We were the citizens of this country. We were expelled from our country. Yeah. You are a refugee when you are expelled from your own country. Yeah. So that means we were forced to leave our own country. We are refugees and we have the right to return. Not also we, our heirs also. Yeah. They could be born in Armenia, but that's just because their parents were expelled. They were born in another country.
Yeah, the right applies to descendants as well.
Yes, descendants also. So according to international law, we have the right of return, and that's why there is nothing just to be discussed. We have the right of return and should be implemented.
The community you represent does not endorse any form of territorial claim against modern-day Armenia. You've made this point absolutely clear on a number of occasions. I remember during our last conversation you made that point very clear as well. But still, from the perspective of many in Armenia and beyond, the notion, the concept, Western Azerbaijan is perceived to be deeply irredentist. Are you perturbed by this perception in the first place? If so, what are you planning to do in order to counteract those people who would say that it's not about human rights, it's about territorial claim?
By showing the patterns of international law. Yeah. Because, first of all, we are an NGO, non-governmental organization. Yeah. And NGOs cannot have a territorial claim, sure. First of all. We are not a country, we are not a government, we don't have army. How we can make a territorial claim? First of all, then, what we say is just we want to go back to our motherland. We want to go back to our homeland, to Armenia, to live there side by side with Armenians, to reintegrate to their society. It was highlighted in our letter to Prime Minister, also Nikol Pashinyan. So what we say is just we want to go back. Where can they find this word, like we want to invade your country? Sure. We don't have separatist intentions. We just want to go back, to live there, to live in our motherland. And then we accept that there is, yes, Western Azerbaijans live there hundreds of years. Yeah. It's their motherland, it's their homeland. But we accept the reality that Armenia exists in these territories. And it's a legal entity recognized by United Nations, by other countries. So we accept that Armenia is there. And we never make a territorial claim. That's why. So we want to go back to the territory of Armenia. Yeah. Our homeland is situated there.
Become Armenian citizens, yes. To reintegrate into their society.
Yes. It would be very good if they suggested us, okay, come and reintegrate to our society as Azerbaijan did. But we still don't have this answer. But what I want to add that Western Azerbaijanis, we are identified here like Western Azerbaijanis wherever we go. They call us Western Azerbaijanis, Western Azerbaijanis. We are NGO. We can call ourselves however we want. Yeah. It doesn't change the reality that we have right to return. Whatever they say, it's their opinion. In order to show or to deny this reality that Western Azerbaijanis should go back to their homeland, in order to deny, you cannot deny international law. You cannot say that, no, you don't have the right of return. What to do? They do that, okay, you have territorial claim. But it is your opinion. We don't make a territorial claim. What I will say in our concept of return is like, according to international law, we want to go back to our homeland because we are refugees. We were expelled forcibly. We want to go back home. That's all.
Thank you very much indeed for a very extensive and very persuasive reply. So what are the chances that the provision article related to the voluntary and dignified return of Azerbaijanis to modern-day Armenia, to the Republic of Armenia, could be included in the prospective peace deal between Azerbaijan and Armenia? Because, as you know, currently Baku and Yerevan are working on they call it a framework treaty. Do you think that that provision could be entailed in that document, or would you rather say that it will be the subject of a separate interstate arrangement between Azerbaijan and Armenia after the signing of the peace treaty?
Mr. Amashov, we are on our path to our safe and dignified way to return to our homeland. And we are NGO. We don't take part in official procedures like peace talks or others. But we have read from the media that our issue was discussed in Brussels between the two leaders. It made us very happy. We made statements. We said that we are very happy that Western Azerbaijan's issue were discussed, etc. But really, we think that in order to have more stable peace in the region, every problem should be solved. Stones must be in their places in order not to keep this problem to our future generation, in order that they should live in a very peaceful region, to develop their countries, because last 200 years we faced many problems. Azerbaijanis were expelled 4 times last century, Western Azerbaijanis. Then we had a war in the region. Then Azerbaijan liberated its territories. We don't want any more war. There should not be any separatist intention. There should not be any invading intentions. That's why everything should be solved. That's why, of course, we would be very happy if our issue was highlighted in the peace agenda also. But it's not up to us.
Sure.
We just hope we would be very happy.
You're not a government body, you're a community of Western Azerbaijanis. And yeah, you're absolutely right. On the 15th of July, when President Aliyev met Prime Minister Pashinyan and when Charles Michel was present there, I believe, according to Azerbaijani sources, the issue related to Western Azerbaijan, to the voluntary and dignified return of Azerbaijan was discussed. It's very clear. Sadly, it was not included in the post-meeting statement, but who knows? Maybe in the fullness of time, it will be included in those post-meeting statements. So you're incredibly active. Everybody I've spoken to told me that Ulviyya Zulfikar is incredibly active. I would say you are both proactive and reactive. By proactive, I mean that your community issues statements on a regular basis, almost on a daily basis, underlining the issue of Western Azerbaijan. And simultaneously, you're also reacting to things happening across the globe, in Czech Republic, and I think I've seen one related to Australia as well. Do you believe that this approach is effective in terms of increasing awareness of your cause?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because in order to be heard, as I said before, you should be very active. This is the law of the modern world. You should be active, you should be to tell everyone, I say in a very simple way, that you have your right to return. All we want is to go back to our homeland. And this is a fundamental right issue. No one can say that, no, you cannot go, because you are a refugee and you have a right to go back to your home. We first appealed to Armenia. We asked first them, okay, come to dialogue with us and let us go back to our homeland. We still don't have an answer. Then we applied to international bodies in order to just call Armenia, please, to fulfill its obligations, which it took in front of you. One of them is to obey the rules of international law and to respect human rights, which one also includes the right of return of refugees, as we all remember that how during the last deportation in 1987 to 1991, Armenia turned to mono-ethnic country. When the last Azerbaijani left this country in 1991, it was Nuvadi village. And then its name changed to Nirnadzor. Then, you have the right and Armenia should accept it. But we didn't have any answer and we appealed to international bodies. Then I could say that we don't react, of course, to every issue that happens around the world. When we react when it somehow has some connections with Western Azerbaijanis or our right to return. For example, we condemn some international bodies or countries when they only enlighten the intentions of one group. Yeah. For example, like Armenians from Karabakh Armenians, but don't say anything about Western Azerbaijanis. Although we appeal to their country, although we appeal to their international organization, it's double standards, you know. Okay, then. For example, we condemn some international organizations or bodies when they say about protection of Christian, Christian heritage in Karabakh, yeah, that are absolutely not in danger and being repaired by Azerbaijan, etc. And they don't say anything about cultural heritage of Azerbaijanis in Armenia, or when they were destroyed in Karabakh during 30 years. We condemn. Then say that, okay, just don't be one-sided, say that we have cultural heritage in Armenia also. Why you don't pay attention to this? Why you don't sending any mission, although we have asked you to send this? So, yes, in order to be heard, in order, yes, all we do is for the sacred aim. We want to go back home. We want to live there. There's nothing difficult about this. We want to go back home, to live there, to visit our graveyards. And first, we should have, some contacts. We ask international organizations to arrange short visits to Armenia, also to go to visit our mosques that are not alive. Yeah. To visit the places.
There's only one mosque in Armenia, right?
Only one mosque, yes.
And that described as a Persian mosque.
Yes, right? Yes. We asked to visit it also, and the graveyards. We have many cultural heritage patterns there, but we still don't have answer. But we hope we will have.
But I suppose there must be some kind of dialogue between Armenian government and the representatives of the Western Azerbaijanis, some kind of dialogue to allow all of these things that you've been talking about. Of course, everybody talks about the caliber Armenians, but quite often they forget about the fate of those Azerbaijanis who were expelled from modern-day Armenia, about their heritage. Well, I'm most grateful to you. Thank you very much indeed. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Can I add something?
Please do.
When we talk about deportations, for example, the last deportation, there are many human stories, very painful human stories. I could not just pass by not mentioning them. Really, when Dunya Miatech came to our community building, we showed to her photo exhibition, and they were very bad, like human stories. The woman held her baby at her back, yeah. And when they were gun shooting beside from their back, yeah. The child died, saved his mother's life, saved his sister's life. And when Western Azerbaijanis, they were given only 2 hours, maybe just 2 days to leave their homes in a very bad condition, of course. And when they brought them in a bus, in order to give them to Azerbaijani side, they stopped the bus, they beat people, killed, we don't want these stories to be repeated.
Yeah, of course.
That's why, yes, that's why.
Circumstances under which Azerbaijanis were forced to leave modern-day Armenia, they were horrific, of course.
Yeah.
And that was a genuine case of ethnic cleansing, we know that.
We should have a very peaceful future for our future generation.
And I'm of the opinion that once Armenians, Karabakh Armenians, are reintegrated into Azerbaijani society and Western Azerbaijanis reintegrate into Armenian society, that will provide a solid foundation for Azerbaijan and Armenia, not just peacefully coexist, but also work together for the greater good of the region and to the benefit of the both nations. And I very much hope that eventuality is not far away. Thank you very much again.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting.
My pleasure. Thank you.